There's a lot of fucking mafia movies out there. Today we're gonna watch Goodfellas. Goodfellas ain't just a movie, it's a blueprint. Scorsese didn't glamorize the life, he showed it how it really works. The rise, the rush, and the wreck. It's based on a true story from Henry Hill, a half-Irish, half-Sicilian kid who got pulled into the Lucchese family. I lived through that era, I knew the rules, and let me tell you, a lot of what you see here is dead on.
Jimmy.
What's up?
Did I hit something?
What is that?
Is it flat? What? No.
Still alive. No. Fucking piece of shit.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
This line, that's the dream, especially for kids growing up in it. It's about being somebody.
Being a gangster was better than being president of the United States.
Your love is all that ever.
Even before I first wandered into the cab stand for an after-school job, I knew I wanted to be a part of them.
You see the wise guys, the suits, the Cadillacs, the respect. That's what you chase.
It meant being somebody in a neighborhood that was full of nobodies.
We looked up to these gangsters in the neighborhood. Some of the things they're talking about as a kid growing up, I felt the same way. These guys were the untouchable. These are the guys you looked up to. My father used to pass them, taking me to church and say, they're bad guys, but they're our bad guys. So that meant something to me that, you know, we had to protect them. And it's not something I said, like the movie, I always wanted to be a gangster. I didn't feel exactly like that. I never thought I would make it as a gangster. You know, but it's some kids grow up, they want to be a cop or they want to be a fireman or whatever. I wanted to be a street guy. I didn't know if I had the capabilities of being a gangster, but one thing led to another. And there was a guy who knew my father personally, a guy named Salvatore, and he was a Mafia guy from Sicily. And he would travel into the United States, and my father was very close to him. I knew him and knew of him. You know, I just had this around me and this aura around me all the time. So to me, it was a great honor to be one of them. But I didn't feel that way until a little later in life.
You can't make any more deliveries. What do you mean you can't make any more deliveries? You're gonna fuck everything up. That's the guy. Get him. Excuse me.
Yeah?
Know this kid?
Yes.
Yeah. You know where he lives? Yeah. Deliver mail to his house?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, from now on, any letter from that school to that kid's house comes directly here. You understand?
That was it. No more letters from truant officers, no more letters from school, in fact, no more letters from anybody. Finally, after a couple of weeks, my mother had to go to the post office and complain.
Well, you know, they did that all the time. They felt, when I was a gangster, we felt, this is our neighborhood. Everybody in the neighborhood is ours. We have to take care of them. We didn't want people or pedophiles and people like that in the neighborhood. We protected our neighborhood. We were close to the church. We kept that place safe. People in the neighborhood loved you. They were buying clothes that were stolen cheap and cigarettes. They brought them in from South Carolina. There was a lot of things, and everybody comes from the neighborhood. Everybody seemed to know everybody. When I was Sammy the Bull, even as a young age, I was Sammy the Bull to the whole neighborhood. They knew me as a kid. They knew my parents, my sisters, and they looked up to people like that.
Paulie hated phones. He wouldn't have one in his house.
Phone. You want me to call back?
No, I make the call, guys.
They used to get all his calls secondhand, then you'd have to call the people back from an outside phone. Paulie didn't talk to 6 people. If there was a union problem or, say, a beef in the numbers, then only the top guys can meet with Paulie to discuss the problem. That what Paulie and the organization does is offer protection for people who can't go to the cops. That's it. That's all it is. They're like the police department for wise guys.
That's just the way he ran his crew. Everybody ran their crew differently. Everybody's different. He was a captain in the family, very powerful captain. What made him even more powerful is their club and their base was right near JFK, the airport. Tato was similar in a way. He had just as much power. He might have had more power because he was very, very close to Carlo Gambino. Carlo Gambino was the boss of bosses. So he was actually same level captain, but respected in a higher way. Different mentality, different person. But Tato did the same thing. We sat in the backyard. He had fig trees, tomato plants, and he would water the flowers. We would talk, sit down, eat like they're doing now. It's so similar that it's ridiculous. They were a star crew. They hijacked trucks, stuff. They always had goods. John Gotti wasn't too far from them. He would do some hijackings around there when he was younger. But he's only as powerful as any other captain in any family. But he was a tremendous money earner. And when you do that, and you have a crew like he had, you looked up to.
1 pound, there you go. What do you need? I think 2 luggers. 2 luggers. Here you go, Hank. Thanks a lot. There you go. Thanks.
Here's your graduation present.
So what for? I got pinched.
Everybody gets pinched, but you did it right.
This is a rite of passage. You get pinched, you don't talk, and you earn respect.
Told them nothing, and they got nothing.
I thought you'd be mad.
Man, I'm not mad. I'm proud of you.
Hey, here he is, here he is.
Oh, you broke your cherry.
That's how you prove your loyalty. It ain't about being tough. It's about knowing the code and keeping your mouth shut. They're congratulating him because he got pinched. He's a kid and he didn't open his mouth. They're teaching them as a kid, growing up, what the life is about and the important things in that life. You got pinched. You're going to get pinched. You're going to be involved in different crimes. And it's quite all right. They love you for it. When I did my first piece of work, I remember I went down to Carmine Persico. I got a kiss on the cheek and a hug. And that was my first murder. I was congratulated and hugged and accepted by people. It's almost like being a soldier in the military. You go out and do something and you get medals and people love you for it. This was the same feeling. And this is what encourages young guys and young people to get into that life, I think. It's that, fast money, fast women, beautiful cars, beautiful women, the whole 9 yards. It's a lifestyle that's not one thing. It's just a bad boy. And he becomes worse and worse, I guess, getting into that life. Some of them don't get that bad. Some of them get horribly bad.
What's really funny is the fucking bank job away in Secaucus. I'm in the middle of the fucking weeds, laying down. He comes over, he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm resting. Hey, yeah, you're resting? I'm at a fucking beach in a park. I said, I'm resting. I know I'm resting. Bing, pow, boom, bing. You saw the paper, Anthony. My head was up like this today.
Really funny. Really funny.
What do you mean I'm funny?
This scene, classic. You say the wrong thing or you laugh too hard. You're suddenly in deep water. It's about fear.
Corey, it's funny. You're a funny guy.
What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
This is a great scene, and like I said, I know Nick Pileggi's a friend of mine. When they made this scene, he did that on his own. It wasn't in the script. When they were laughing, they were supposed to be laughing, and Joe Pesci did that on his own, without a script or nothing, and he just did it. That's why they were dead quiet. They probably, all the actors couldn't understand what was going on. And that's why they all bust out laughing. It's not even in the script. So I think Joe Pesci really outdid himself as an actor. He did a great job. They all did. And I love that scene because that I know it's real. It's not made up. It's not in the script. And it's a great scene.
I wonder about you sometimes, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is it with you? I thought I was getting pinched over here. He's hanging on my fucking neck like a vulture, like a tempting Dane. What do you want?
This guy's worried about he didn't want to come over and get the check, you know.
Be like... You fucking moron. You don't want to bring the check. You believe this prick?
It is realistic. You get guys like that, you know, and they all got quiet because they know he has a temper. He'll shoot you. He'll kill you. Some guys are too tough for them, you know, the whole thing. But he was supposed to be, he wasn't made yet, but he was going to get made. And he was a little crazy, and he was well respected and feared at the same time. At one point in my life, I had that same thing. It's, in a way, it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing in a lot of ways. But he's portrayed that part. Now, I know the actual guy, Henry Hill, he was not a tough guy at all. So that's a little exaggerated in the movie, but it's a movie. It's Hollywood. That's what they do. But they did a great, great job. And like I said, Nick Pileggi's 92 years old now. He's a legend in Hollywood. He's one of the best writers that you could get.
Oh, stop! Up and up! What the fuck are you doing there? Fuck you, drink yourself fucking scared. Come on! What is it with you, huh? This fucking guy ain't ready. I knew you weren't gonna be ready.
Fuck, you can bring coffee?
What do you look like, a fucking caterer?
Shit, I'll be ready.
Yeah, you're always fucking late. You're late for your own fucking funeral. Put the fucking pot down. You gotta take the coffee.
Based off of Tommy DeSimone, his personality. He was killed later on in the movie, and in real life, he was killed.
Stax was always crazy. Instead of getting rid of the truck like he was supposed to, he got stoned, went to his girlfriend's, and by the time he woke up, the cops had found the truck. It was all over the television. They even said they came up with prints off the wheel. It was just a matter of time before they got to Stax.
So they gave a little bit of a story of why they killed him. He was supposed to get rid of the truck. He didn't get rid of it. They found fingerprints. They were afraid that he would get pinched and rat on them, so they got rid of him. I guess that's what they say in the movie. Again, the only time I ever heard that was in the movie. So I never heard that in real life. So could be true. I don't know.
Can I talk to you now?
You know you're a pisser.
Yeah.
You're a real pisser. You want to talk now?
Please.
Okay, let's talk. Let's get it over with.
Okay.
I swear to God, I've known a bull buster like you my whole life.
Hey, who loves you more than I do, huh?
Guy.
I'd do anything for you.
Yeah, except to stop busting my balls.
Fucking drive. What are you waiting for?
Man, the car's cold.
Get the fuck out of here. What? Fucking warm it up. Get out of here.
I gave Jimmy the tip and he gave me some Christmas money. From then on, I kept my mouth shut. When they found Carbone in the meat truck, he was frozen so stiff it took them 2 days to thaw him out for the autopsy.
Listen, they did a heist, the Lufthansa heist, and they were supposed to hide their money, not to show that they had a lot of money. Because if they were all walking around a lot of money, the cops would say, oh, these are the guys who did that heist. So they were hiding it, and some guys broke that secret, and you'll see it in the movie, and they're killing them because they're not supposed to show that. What they did is they had, I think it was about 11 guys who were told not to show money. This guy bought a Cadillac right away for his wife. Robert De Niro caught an attitude in the bar about it. And what they did, you broke the rules, they're killing you one after the other. Killing this guy with his wife is, I don't know if that's true, but I think they did kill a bunch of people for going out, spending money, bringing heat to them. because the cops were really looking who was spending money, street guys, excessive amount of monies, knowing that most of them are broke. All of a sudden, they're spending an excessive amount of money. That would be a sign it's got to be them. Plus, they had a reputation of being near the airport and doing hijackings and stuff like that. So they try to conceal it. And what they did, if you didn't listen to them, they killed you to shut you up and shut this whole thing down. I think they got away with it. Most of them got away with it. Later on in life, a lot of them got pinched for that Lufthansa heist. So that's all based on true facts, but I think, it's, again, a movie and very well done and entertaining. And that's what Hollywood is.
Spider, on your way over here, bring me a cutting water, huh?
Thanks,
Yahoo, you motherfucker!
Come on.
Come on, you little fucking actor.
I got a great head.
A little prick. Yeah, I'm in. 800, of course.
Again, I think a lot of this is made up. I don't think he shot Spider in the foot in real life. And I don't know how it got in the movie, but again, they're based on a true story. They're not necessarily a true story. This is pretty close to it, I'll tell you the truth. But like I said, I don't know. I wasn't part of their crew. That might have happened. Maybe not as serious as what happened. Maybe shot him by accident. And they blew it up in the movie of what it was.
Goodbye, Jimmy. What's your rush? It's no fucking good as you can drop a little.
There you go. Thank you, Spider.
Hold on, take a fucking hole. Where are the shovels?
First of all, if he got shot in the foot, I would have never went back to work. I don't know why he went back to work in there, if that's true. And I believe in what Robert De Niro was saying. He even said, what the fuck, you lose your mind, bro? He's a kid. He said something stupid. You want to get up and give him a slap in the fucking face? It's one thing. Killing him, that's a whole nother ballgame. There was guys like Roy DeMeo or people like that. You didn't want to. They became serial killers. They were worse than him, and in the movie and in real life. So I wouldn't want to do that to him if I was you. So it all depends. I don't think that was called for, but shit happens.
See, it's the highest honor they can give you. It means you belong to a family and a crew. It means that nobody can fuck around with you.
Oh, no.
That's the life. You never see it coming. That's what happens. You become so violent and completely out of control, and sooner or later, they got to get rid of you. And that happens in the life. Roy DeMeo, I mentioned him a couple of times, became like a serial killer. Unpredictable, worse than him, and he was killed too, for the same reasons. So you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You have to have some sort of sense in you and decency in you. You can't keep doing that and think sooner or later they had enough of you. And that's what happened here. It always happens that way. Always happens by a friend, somebody knows you. Unless there's a war going on or something, but in certain cases like that, that's exactly how it happens. A lot of people said John Gotti did it. That wasn't true. Paul Vario okayed it. He did it with his people. Once he gave the okay, they were the Gambino family, like I said, was growling about the guy they killed. And his sacrifices, well, he did it. We'll kill him. And that's what they did.
No, he's an American guy.
What do you want?
Sweetheart, mommy.
Fucker was sneaking behind his back selling junk.
Drugs brought a whole different kind of heat. Once you get involved in that stuff, you're not a gangster anymore. You're just a liability.
I don't need that. Ain't gonna happen to me. You understand? You know that you're only out early because I got you a job. Yeah. I don't need this heat. Understand that? And you see anybody fucking around with this shit, you're gonna tell me, right?
Yeah.
That means anybody.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of the mob did not want their people. They did it on a sneak, a lot of guys, but he's telling him right now, stay away from the garbage, meaning stay away from drugs. You could do whatever else you want, but stay away from drugs. He's giving him a very stern thing. Now, if you break that rule and you go out and do drugs, you could be killed if you're found out. And that's how they keep the organized crime guys, the mafiosos, in order. That you face rules and you face the death if you break the rules. So he's telling them point blank, no drugs.
It took me about a week of sneaking around before I could unload the Pittsburgh stuff, but when I did...
On way.
You're selling drugs in your neighborhoods, this is your families, your friends, your neighbors. Those kids are going to wind up with drugs. It's going to infiltrate into the neighborhoods, and it's going to bring nothing but misery to everybody, and including them. It's going to bring them heat, and maybe their kids are going to wind up in it. They don't want it. It's always guys who were broke, and they did something on a sneak, on a lowdown. So most guys didn't do it, but there's guys who did it. Sold it, and even took it.
What about my parents?
What about them?
Am I going to see them? Am I going to talk to them? I mean, don't I have some kind of contact with them?
No.
No. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that, God forbid something happens to my parents and they get sick, I can't go and see them?
That's the fall, right there. And here's what he ends up with.
Maybe something could be worked out. If they're sick, if there's some extraordinary set of circumstances, maybe something can be worked out.
I can't do this, Henry. I can't.
Conversation after conversation, you're talking to Henry on the phone.
Well, this is obviously that he's going to cooperate with the government. That's an FBI agent or a prosecutor, whoever. And he's going to cooperate, and they're talking to him about going in the program. And that's a whole nother set of, it's a whole world of different things that they got to do. They can't go back with their family. They can't have any communication with anybody. She, obviously, his wife, don't want to do it because she'd have to leave her parents and everybody else behind. So I saw a little bit more of the movie. He does go into the program, I think with his girlfriend or some shit like that later on. He's leaving the life and he cooperates. That's the end of him and his story and everything else. I would give this movie a 9. It was great. It was, until today, people are watching this movie. And this came out of, I don't remember what year, but a long time ago. So they did a great job with it. Now, the rating as a truthfulness, it still gets a high mark. Maybe not a 9, but a 7, 7.5, something like that. 8, maybe. You want to stretch it a little bit. Like I said, there's a few parts. I don't know if it's true or not, but that doesn't mean that it's a lie. I didn't know their whole entire story. The guys who made it, Nick Pileggi was a writer, but the other people and the actors, they did great. All right, so guys, I did this today. Stay tuned for next week. I'm going to do another movie review. Say hello to my little friend. We're going to do Scarface. Adios, motherfuckers.